Hello guys and welcome to another profile tree video. So in today's video we are going to try to recreate the Damar WordPress site on Wix. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so just to further explain what I'm about to do is I'll be recreating an Envato WordPress template, which is Damar, onto the Wix website builder, which is Wix Studio. So Wix Studio is brand new to 2023. It's a complete revamp basically on Wix, and this should be an easier website builder to use now in terms of it. Now we've got plenty more different elements as well. We've also got responsive AI, a couple of other integrations on this as well, like animations, so it'll be a fun little kit to use. So what we'll do is we'll review the Damar template. We'll have a look through it, we'll see what we can do on this and try to replicate that completely on Wix. So, starting off with the home page, fairly simple. We've got two columns here, or two rows, and top row is basically just a little bit of contact information, of course location as well, help support FAQs. I've got social media integration as well, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if we scroll down, this is their hero section by the looks of things as well. Just a static picture and just a discover button there with some font and text, and we'll completely replicate that as well down to the bone on the actual font. So we'll have a look at the different font websites that's available to us. We'll take a few of the resources from there. Going down, it looks like they are consistent with the actual background we'll see, and we'll try our best to replicate that background that you see behind. Now it looks like it deepens down with the overlay there, so it's just a little bit of a darker integration, so that should be easy enough to do. It's just all dependent on the actual sections. So I'm assuming, well, it does say services, so it looks like it's grayscale to colored. When we hover over it, you can see that on the left side. Again, the same applies for each of the pictures. Should be possible to do on Wix. Now, we'll see if we could try to do or recreate that sort of animation that you see on WordPress now. But if not, then of course we'll resort to using something static. But within the elements that we can see here, there may be something in there that'll help us to possibly recreate that little button icon here. Maybe a clickable video of some sort, but we'll try our best. So scrolling down again, some of these buttons are easy to make. We've also got that sort of animation on Wix already, which is a hover from red to blue. That should be easy enough to recreate. Got some testimonials. Testimonials are easy enough to recreate as well. They've got different types of sections and pages for that one. So we'll have a look at the sections that they have to offer. So we've got testimonials. There's one there, so that's fairly close to the Damar one. Just maybe needs a little bit of adjustment, but you could see there. So that should be easy to recreate. So we'll not worry too much on the Damar testimonial. So they've got this customer satisfaction part here. Now there should be one around here in terms of that. We should be able to recreate this sort of look on numbers. But of course it just depends what sort of animation we need to look through in order to find that. But it should be easy enough. If not, we can try to recreate it into a static version. So again, grayscale to color by the looks of things. So this is the theme. We'll have a look at the theme here. We can create something similar, or if not the same, in terms of this. So here's our theme. So I should be able to create that with the social media integration as well. So using this one here that you see there. Now they do have other sections that we can use, but we'll stick with that one. They've got news and articles. So let's see if we can try to find something to do with articles. There is usually, so they do have hover sections by the looks of things. So that's great. It's great to see. Okay, so click sections as well. So that's what we're looking for, team members there. So there's a click action button there. So that's something very new that I like to see. Okay. And of course we reach the bottom here, which is the actual footer. And with the footer's navigation, we can create something very, very similar. As you can see, a little bit of tweaking that's required. But if we just follow how this looks compared to the other one, we should be able to accomplish that. So that is the Damar front page, and of course we'll only focus on some of the relevant pages that we need to look at, like the About Us, the Services, the Team, and the Contact Us. What we'll do is we'll leave out the pages, but I'll go ahead and show you how to create this anyway. So like the FAQ, blog, single post, and 404 pages. So they do have the contact page there. We'll have a look at their pages on this one. So we'll take a look at the contact page, see if we can. Or we might have to add one in. Let's have a look at some of the pages. They do have a dynamic page, which is great. So dynamic pages means that you create one page and it's more or less going to look the same. But anyway, so here's that page there. You can add new pages, which is great. Okay, so we can go alongside this one. But for the meantime, we'll just delete that page and we'll try to use the dynamic pages later on, seeing how we can try to create the different pages anyway. So they've got global sections there, that's fairly new. Got site styles, app market, CMS, so more or less the same as well in terms of that. Our add elements is still on the top left, so that's great, that's what we want to see. Got contact forms, decorative, layout tools, and so on. So we're happy enough with that. We're happy with enough with how this is going to be turning out. So first stage is to try to recreate the actual header. So we'll go from header, and then what we'll do is we'll recreate the footer. So those are the two easiest parts, and we'll not get too confused then, and then we can try and create a dynamic page out of all those. And let's see, so we'll go to the actual pages, we'll go to add new page. So design ones generate unlimited pages, so we can add CMS onto this, which we will need. So start with a preset to add dynamic pages. You don't have any collections. Okay, let's have a look. So we can create a collection if we wanted to, which we do not need. Okay, so for now, we're happy enough with how this is gonna go. So that's our main page, and you could actually edit that page if you want to. So that's easy enough. You've got your hover interactions as well. So if we scroll, you'll add like a trigger of some sort. So it's a more or less a mixture of the actual Wix editor and Wix itself. But anyway, so we've got other attachments there. Let's see if there's actual any movement. So luckily there's no movement on the header itself, so it's just a static still header. But we should be able to configure something for it anyway. So what we'll do is we will start off with just removing everything on the actual header. So we don't need any of this, so we can just delete that. So we'll add a menu item later on in the video or the site. You can always search it up as well, which is great. So menu and search is located here, and we can just drag and drop. So that's another good thing about using Wix, is that it is a drag and drop editor. So horizontal menu is what we're going to be using for this one. Of course, you have anchor menus and hamburger menus, which is for the mobile version. So that's more or less what that looks like. We'll recreate the mobile version later on, once we have a look at it later on the video. But anyway, okay, so getting back to this. So we've got our header. And what we want to do is we want to split that into two different cells. So top and bottom row. So that's more or less the sizing of it. Maybe a little smaller, but we can try to make that smaller if we need to. So we've got our layers here. Got our cells. We can go ahead and edit that out if we need to. So there is a hamburger menu there. Okay, we can split that cell if we need to. Okay. So we need to reduce the size in that one to about there. Okay, that's more or less the same size. We'll see if we can try to get a actual tool here to help us out with this, in terms of the measurements, like on the previous Wix. Okay, so I just pushed on ahead there, and I just went ahead and got the same pattern for the Damar, as you can see. So I just went to the inspect tool and then just went ahead and took this pattern. So now that we've got the general layout, as you can see, so I'll just move that there. So we've got our pattern, we've got just the normal section here with the white section, so happy enough with that. Same layout as well. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and add the logo in and add all the different parts to it as well, like the social media integration and the buttons, the call us, contact us, as well as just having a look at the bottom here, which is this one. So, and then once we get those sections in, we should be good to go. So anyway, so what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and get all the different parts in, like the contact and the location, as well as the help, support, FAQ. Now these are buttons, so we'll have to add them in as links. So we'll go ahead and do that now. What we'll do first is we'll add an overlay onto this. See if we could try to find an overlay similar to this color here. So I suppose that is like a white based overlay. But we'll see if we can try to find an empty container and then have it above it. So let's see. Have it above here. Stretch that layer. So I'll go ahead and do these. So just skip ahead a little bit there, and what I've done is for each one here is I have went through the image and then I've selected settings and just adjusted the overlay. So that is another way of doing it. Previously, before, what you could have done is have a container and then place it over the actual image and then overlay it. Or you could do it as well, like this as well, but there should be a way to do that, but we'll go through that along as we create this website. But I'm happy enough with how that's looking so far, so it's fairly close to how that looks, you can see. So I could have went a little bit later. Well, I will adjust that later on. So see, so what we could have done is maybe just go onto the settings and then adjust it so that the background is probably just a tad bit lighter. So probably just around like that. So let's have a look at it from that perspective. So just a tad bit later, but not too much you can see. But we're happy enough with how that looks so far. We can do the adjustments later on in the video. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and, as I said, add the contact your name, and we'll try to get that similar logo for the mail. So we'll do that first actually. So we'll add it within this section, and then with the next section we'll add it here. So that gives us a little bit of some spacing as well. So we shall go on to the elements and we'll have a look at some of the decorative that they have. So they should have something in terms of like mail, things like that. Let's have a look. So we'll have a look at the icons. So they do have a couple of mail type icons. We'll search for one anyway. We'll just say mail. So what could be similar to that? So that one's got like a little bit of a different one. That's like an opened type mail. It's like this, like an open envelope. We'll see if we can try to find one. Open mail. So by the looks of things, we are only getting one. So we might have to be particular on that and try to look for the same logo. So what we'll do is we'll go to the inspect tool, we'll try to find this. So let's see here. So I'll be back with you guys until I find this. So we've went ahead and found that specific list or icon. So this should be it here. So it's called a FA open envelope. Let's see if we can try to find that particular one. So that class, okay. So it looks like it is from Font Awesome. So there we are. Here's the particular one that we need to look for. See if we can try to download this. Okay, so that is the particular one. Okay. So I'll be back with you guys until I can go ahead and download this particular font. So we were able to find it in Icon Bolt now. Should be able to find it around. Hopefully we can try to download this for free. Let's see. Okay, by the looks of things, we have downloaded it for free. Try to get as a PNG and an SVG. Maybe that'll work because Wix doesn't really accept SVGs. So we'll actually try to get it as a PNG. So PNG is mainly what you would want to use as an image like that. JPEG, you would want to use that for pictures. So anyway, we'll select the size. 256 should do it. We'll go ahead and download that PNG. Okay. So we'll go back here and we'll upload to media and I'll be with you guys in a minute. So we've got that loaded in. Hopefully it will look okay. And of course we can change the color about as well. So here's to hoping. So anyway, let's see. So that is popping up as media. See, let's have a look at what the actual font is on this. What do they use? So my bad, that was actually meant to be an SVG for the vector art. So we've got the SVG. We're happy enough. We'll go ahead and add that to the page. So here we go, and we want to connect that in particular to this area. So we'll have it as small by 15 by 15, and we'll attach it to here, and we'll have it there. Now we'll go ahead and close up a little bit. Take a look at this so we're a little bit more specific in where we add this. So Damar, that's how it looks. We'll go back. Let's try to get that aligned a little bit better. So 4.2%. We're happy enough with that. That's right in the middle. And contact your name. we'll go ahead and find out what exactly this particular font is, and we should be able to find it through Google. So I'm going to use a font finder, so hopefully my fonts here will help. We'll see what we could use, so we can go ahead and paste that in. So what we'll do is we'll get this up, we'll go to Damar, we'll go ahead and copy and paste that particular one in here. Okay. More or less might be a sans serif type font, but we'll just use my fonts to verify. So what have we got here? So there's contact your name. So it is corporate SWG regular by the looks of things. And of course we don't have to pay for that. So we'll go ahead and try to search up this particular font online. So we should be able to find it. So I'll be back once I get a hold of this particular font. So thankfully we've got Legion fonts here to help us out with that particular font that we're looking for. And I will go back to here. And we'll just scroll out. So now what we need to do is we are going to have to add our text in. Let's see, so we're looking for a particular heading, and that is about the size of H5. So we'll go ahead and select H5. We can probably go a little bit smaller, so we'll edit that text out actually. So let's have a look. Okay, so height is 35 and that's set to 35. Font size, okay, let's have a look. Maybe we can go for 14. Okay, that's perfect. 14 or 15 might have done us. So now what we need to do is we're gonna go ahead and upload this particular font. And I'm gonna go and upload fonts here now. So you'll not be able to see it on my screen, but I'm currently on the Explorer or Wix. So I'm gonna have corporate S in. Go ahead and open that. So again, you can't see it on my screen, but now we are uploading that particular font onto this. So they are TTF files. So wait for that to load in. It just takes a little minute or two, especially if you're getting fonts from other places. That's what's good about Wix, is you can get some provided fonts for you. That's TTF. So okay, we're done. So there's corporate S. We're happy enough with that. Okay, now what we were looking for was to copy and paste this particular name. And we don't want to leave it bold either. Okay, so that's for some reason copied and pasted that. I'll go ahead and delete that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and edit that text, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this again. So copy. And then I'll have this pasted in. So contact your name. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, so the one that we're looking for is corporate S. Let's see, is that particular one corporate S? Maybe we were actually pretty close to the one there. Maybe have to have that a little bit bolder. So we'll have corporate S in bold. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Very close to the one on Damar. Fairly close. And it's more of a grayscale as well, so we want to change the color of that. We'll reduce the sizing of this to 140, and then we'll change the color of that to more of a grayscale. See, what are we working with here? Okay, so that's grayed. Fairly close. It's just adjustment now. Let's have a look at this. Okay, and we'll go ahead and go to Damar. So we want it to be a little bit more defined, I think, and adjusted carefully. See, we can go for a darker font. Okay, that should be a little bit clearer now. So we're a little bit off on the color. Let's see, maybe we don't need to bold out the text. Let's have a look at the one that we seen earlier on, which was just a Wix one. Monofloor display. Okay, we'll reduce that size to 10. Maybe 11. So it does require a little bit of tweaking, as you can see. So regardless of what you do, you will have to tweak it. Let's see now. So it's a little bit dark. Okay, so we're pretty close to how that looks in terms of color. It's not as dark, or it's not as light as I would want it to be. Let's see if we can go to the grayscale, however, and see if we can try to adjust that particular color at the minute. So it's looking like it's a little lighter in terms of color. So maybe like that. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay. So that is a little lighter. That looks a little bit better. This is a red color. Okay, so that's a red color. So with this basic shape that we have here, I'm going to change that into a red color. Let's see how close that looks. Okay, so that's a red color. That's a red color as well. See how? Let's have a look at how close we are now. So okay, so we've got the contact. Now we need to get this particular icon. Luckily, I think we already have that icon here somewhere. So we'll take a look at decorative. Have a look at the icons again, and then let's see. We'll just view more icons, and then we'll see if we can get some location in. We'll find something fairly close to it. If not, then we'll go ahead and search the web for it. So I think this is the closest we're going to get here. Ah, this one there. So that's perfect. This one here, maybe. See how does that look? Is the hole a little bit bigger in that one compared to this one? Sorry for the screen changes, guys. I'm just verifying whether that is the right one. So these two are fairly close. Okay, so I'll go for this one, this location marker, because the hole in that one is a little bit smaller as well, which is perfect. That's what we need. And what I'll do is for the inner, we'll do a full color of red. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll probably go ahead and search up this particular one, as I don't want to get it too far off from where we are now. So I'll go ahead and get back with you guys. Okay, so we've got the font that we need, or the vector art. So we'll decrease the sizing on that one by 15 by 15. Okay, so 15 by 15. Let's have a look at this one. That's more or less the same. We'll probably increase it just a little bit to 20 by 20. And now we'll bring it to where we need it to be. So we'll attach it there. So let's have a look at that compared to that. So maybe a little bit smaller. Have a look. Okay, so we're getting there. Getting to a close enough look to it. Okay, that's right in the middle. Now we'll go ahead and copy and paste this. Copy, paste. And then we'll go ahead and just copy and paste what it says here. Go ahead and edit that text. Paste it in. Okay. Decrease the sizing of that. Currently at 89. I just want to push that to the right a little bit, more to the left now. Let's see how far it is away from that. So maybe push to the right. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're getting there. So now we need to get the help, support, and FAQ. Luckily, these are not movable, so this will help us in terms of the animation. So what we'll do is, that's why we've kept it in different sections. This was the old Wix, by the way, so if you guys are curious, we'll actually just exit off that now. So anyway, we'll use, let's see, what section would this be on? I will attach it to this section here. So that is more or less in the middle. Okay, yep, so that leaves us a little bit of a gap in terms of it. So that'll be right in the center of it all. Or maybe we would want to just apply it here. So we'll apply it here and there. So two different sections. We'll have help, support, and FAQ. And let's have a look. Sort of just want to bring this back as much as I can. Oh, a little bit of a situation there. So let's see. See. So what I'll do now is I'll just skip ahead. This is more or less the same as this, and we'll move on to the social media, and then I'll get on with the header just to quickly show you that on how to do it. And you can see it captures that. So I'll go ahead and get that done, and then I'll get back with you guys in a minute. So I've pushed ahead there and added the help, support, and FAQ. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to embed social media. So here we have a couple of different logos there. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram. Curious to know what this one is. However, we have these three. Just unsure about that one. I do apologize. But anyway, you will have a section here in the elements called embed and social. So go ahead and click on that. And we do have a social bar. There's a couple of different social bars there, as you can see, and we can go ahead and add them in as a full kit. So here's Facebook, you've got Twitter there, so we'll go ahead and have a look. So we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's our three main ones. So we'll go ahead and add them in. I'll add them in like this. Now, a great thing about this is we can't actually change the pictures on this, so yeah, don't be thinking that we're set on this one. So we'll open this up. We've got our social bar here. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and scale it proportionally. So let's see. So the sizing is 497, 157px. Let's have a look at how we can just decrease this. Previously, before, you can add it or easily adjust it. But for now, it has become a little bit harder. So here we are. Here's our icon sizes. We want to maybe just adjust it so that it is 15. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger. We'll just round it up to 20. So let's have a look at this one. More or less the same. We'll probably just have it at 24, 22. Again, it's all about adjusting it, specifying. So anyway, 16, we're happy enough with that. Now let's go ahead and set our social links before we add it onto our header. So what have we got here? So firstly, we've got the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll find out what that basketball logo looking one is, but we will adjust it about. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we will go ahead and delete these two here. Now we'll replace this icon. And we should find the social. So what's this one? Dribble. Okay, so it's dribble. Let's see, dribble. We'll go ahead and search up dribble. And that is more or less the same color that we're looking for. Yes, it is. So we'll go ahead and click on that. We'll choose that image. So we're happy enough with that. Facebook logo needs to change as well. So we'll change that icon over. And that's just a skinny logo, skinny F. Again, we'll search up Facebook. So we're not finding the specific F that we need. However, that is okay. Okay, so we'll just stick with it for now. It's not too bad. We don't really need to change it if we don't need to. Would have loved to have that one, but we can change that about later on. So for now, I'm happy enough with that icon. I can replace it with my own image anyway, so I can upload my own media if I need to, so that's okay. We'll adjust that later on. Let's have a look. So okay, so it's actually like this. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Dribble, and we'll go ahead and select done. Now, we don't need to set our social links yet, just purely for the fact that, so the link goes here, so it's easy enough. You just change the link and then you get brought to the web address, so that's easy enough to do. But we're happy enough with how it is so far, and we're going to go and adjust it now. So we'll just bring it up to the top right here. So it's just a little bit laggy. So we'll just attach it through that. So that's now attached. We can close that over. Let's have a look at the spacing between all of these. We're happy enough. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So that's now adjusted. And I need to bring that over so we could see that better. There we go. And with the layout, I'll go to the layout again, and then I'll probably space them out by around 10. Like so. Let's have a look now. Yep, that looks okay to me. That looks good. Okay, so what I'll do is, this is fairly simple to do. I'll just get the logo in here, and then I'll get the rest of these little features in, and I'll go ahead and just showcase how to add the menu area. So we've got the rest of the stuff sorted out here. So we've got the mail, location, we've got all this, and we're just going to move on to the bottom of this header. And what I'm going to do is just show you this, and then we'll move on to the actual footer. So first, go into your elements. So it's a little bit slow for me now. See if I can try to speed this up a little bit. So go on to the menu and search, and click on the one that is fairly similar to it. Here we have the top row. So it looks fairly similar. What I'm going to do is drag and drop this guy onto here. So just attach that to this column. So currently we only have home. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all these different pages like home, about us, services, team, contact us, and pages. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that now. So just capture that. And now we're going to go ahead and click on the pages. We're going to go ahead and add new pages. And we'll just add in a blank page. And then we will name it. So the first one on that area was about us. And then we did have another page in there. So new page. And we'll edit this page to be called services. And then again, another page. We're going to have this one named, so we'll rename that team. We'll not worry about the pages one that we seen earlier on, but we'll just add our last one. Okay, and then we'll rename that. Rename it to contact us. Oh, perfect. So we have all our pages, and I can click off this now. Now I click onto the menu, manage the menu itself, and I'm going to add an item onto this, and I'm going to do site pages, and I'm going to click all of these, or you can just select all pages if you want. So there we have it. Now the reason why it's went like that is because of the box being too small. That's fine, we can go ahead and adjust that easily. So we'll just drag it out. Okay, so that'll just automatically drag down. Right, we'll go back here, we'll have a look. So Dublin, there's home, and it ends up being in pages, but we'll not have to worry about pages, as I say. So we'll just drag this around here. So we'll just need dragged. Currently is a little bit slow right now because I'm recording as well. So here we are, we have the home setting right under. We've got the about us, we've got services team, so we're happy enough with how this is looking so far. All we would need to do is have this little area here and the start now button, but for now we'll just leave that. So what we need to do is sort out the actual layout. So we'll click on layout here on the menu layout, and we can have it as a scroller or a wrap, but we're happy enough with the scroller. Now what's great about the Wix Studio is that we do have a mega menu now as well, so that's something that we didn't have beforehand. We only had the menu and the sub menu. You actually had to get the mega menu more or less coded in some way. But what we're gonna do is we'll do a little bit of alignment here. And so horizontal alignment between the items, we'll do it at around 4. So we'll just have a look at how this looks between the two. Okay, so 4 should be fine. See how that looks. Okay, so it's made a little bit of a change in terms of that. Vertical spacing, we don't need to worry about that. We could probably actually just drop down to 2 or 0. Okay. So our padding's fine. We're happy enough with that. Okay. So that's that one. And then what I'm going to do is now manage the menu look. See if we can try to edit it out. I'll be right back once I actually get this edited out. So on our right side here, we've actually got the cell that we are into now and our horizontal menu. So we do want this design to be a menu container, and we're happy enough with that. We don't need to do any background fills, which is great. All we really need to do is take a look at the actual text that we need to change. So we'll see if we can change the text here. Should be able to, hopefully. So I've went ahead and changed the menu container to menu items, which does make sense as we can now change the actual font of this. So we'll go back here, we'll scroll down. Okay, and then we'll have it as menu items. Scroll down again, change that text to Paul. Okay. So that's now changed. We'll have a look at this. So I think this is the correct. It is. It's the correct one, but we're not going to go for the bold one. We will go for something in terms of medium. So so we got Paul slab regular. And that should hopefully do it for us. Okay, so it has. It's a little bit better. And what we can do is we can bold it out a little bit. Let's have a look at it now. I think this may not actually be the Paul slab. I think this is the. See if we can change it to Wix. So I just went ahead and more or less just built the actual site itself. I was just having a little bit of issues recording and building the site at the same time. However, we'll just go and have a little run through the site. So we were looking at the actual header section above here as well. And as well as that, we were also taking a look at the footer section, or going to make the footer section, but I went ahead and made that footer section here. So more or less the same, it just requires a little bit of the elements. So on the left side there, you've got your title, you've got your paragraphs as well, you've got your fonts that we've added in, we've got different shapes and styles that we can add in as well. And more or less, how to add them in is just a simple right click and you can do a quick add if you wanted to add a shape. You can add containers, buttons, paragraphs, anything that you would like. Now, in terms of the actual fonts that we've taken, that's easy enough to get. All you would need to do is select that very text, go ahead and upload the fonts. You can see that on the very bottom there. If you click upload fonts, you'll get that orange button there to drag and drop a TTF file or an OTF, WOFF, or WOFF2. So completely up to yourselves, but it would more or less be a TTF file. And if we scroll up, so it's more or less the same. We did do a little bit of coding as well, but it's not a load of coding per se. So for this one, we've done just the actual numbers. You'll actually see that rise. I'll actually go ahead and preview it just so you can see. So what happens is that as soon as the actual site is being previewed, you can see that that's going up in number. So that's all to do with a little bit of code on the background. I'm going to show you now if I can get it up. So this is how I've went ahead and done it. So we've got our start number, which is at 0, end number 1, which is 85, 10, 38, 14, and then of course our different durations there, and that's the functions that I've created. We've got the count up. I've got 4 of those, but I've just added as 0, 1, 2, and 3, same as how I would do it there. And of course, with the different IDs there, there's number text, and this is number text 1, number text 2, and number text 3. So just a couple of different ways in doing that. Now, if we scroll up, with the background, of course, at the minute I've got it laid out with different types of templates. Not really the best way of doing it, however, this was the best I could do in terms of trying to capture the actual replica of the Damar. And just to showcase the Damar site itself, you can see the difference between WordPress and Wix itself. It is a lot more, you've got more space, I would say, in terms of WordPress. So I wouldn't fault WordPress at all. Of course, if you were trying to create something similar, it can happen. You can create something similar, as you can see. Of course, the only thing that I haven't added was the pages. So FAQ, blog, single post, and 404 page, which is easy enough to do within the given time. This whole site more or less took me about 10, 12 hours to create, and then that is more or less what you'd be looking into in terms of creating a site for this. But since you do have a template already built for WordPress, now no one would of course go through doing this. I'm just trying to showcase that it is possible to actually create or recreate a WordPress site on Wix. Everything is functional as it should. Of course, this is linked to the homepage itself, with this one being linked to the homepage itself as well. So of course, if I click on that, that'll refresh me to this very same page. But yeah, with the design that I was saying, I couldn't really quite capture the same one, as it did require me to go to the inspect tool multiple times and open this up, basically have a look at what the design was, go ahead and copy and paste it, save that file, and then add it to this. And of course, if we scroll down even more, this is something that Wix is slightly limited to, but of course this is just starting off Wix Studio. As you can see, I only have it in color. I don't actually have the light effect that you could do here. As you can see, it's just nice and plain. Now, in terms of the We Provide World Class section, it was actually hard to capture this very section here. This clickable button for a video. Now, it is possible in terms of Wix Studio. You can add a button here which would link and open up a lightbox to show a video. However, to provide this very type of animation is a little bit difficult. You would have to do a little bit of code depending if it is possible. So, which I would say it is, but with the time given, of course, to create the site in the best type of replica you can. Of course, it is limited to there, and of course, you would have to figure out how to create that very same button. But the only thing that we did manage to capture, of course, was the number system here, and that's what we had showcased earlier on, which is great. Now, again, same for this area here. It's hard to replicate that very button, which of course this fades into white, that fades into red. I only added buttons at the back, but unfortunately the actual logo can't change color. And then of course this is the footer below, and that is the footer below. Now that's the only thing that's different, of course, with the layout. Very limited to the layout. Again, you can see that it is slightly crammed on Wix. However, it doesn't really push it away from it being a decent site. You can see that you can close up and exit out. But more or less, that would be what I would showcase for the site. Now, everything is more or less the same in terms of the About Us. So if I click on About Us for this one, so of course this is slightly faster since I am recording as well. So we'll click on the About Us page. That's the About Us page here. This is the About Us page as well. Again, we don't have that little animation provided. However, we do have this section here that does work. And then, of course, we have our footer. Now, we do need to make a couple of adjustments as well in terms of doing so. And of course, we do have our tablet version, which works out okay as well, and our mobile version. But that's the desktop version. And then we'll go on to the services. We'll check out the services now as well. So we'll open that up, see how that looks. Okay, so again, this is something that we weren't able to capture, which was the actual area itself, where it highlighted like this, or grayscale to highlight in color. And of course, the theme. We'll get the theme opened up. Okay, you can see that that's the team. Of course, I can get the rest of the people captured in, but with the performance of course, building a site online or on the internet, it can be a little bit difficult performance-wise. It can slow it down, so you would have to have the best equipment to build a site like this, depending if you are building it from scratch. So that's why I would highly recommend to just use some of the templates that Wix has to offer. But anyway, we'll go to the contact us. We'll check out the contact us. Now, I had a couple of issues with the contact us itself. I didn't like the fact that there was so much spacing. That's the only issue I had, which is the spacing between name, phone, and message. So you got name, phone, and message. You can see how close they are together. However, I haven't quite figured out what the settings are for the new setup of Wix Studio. Hopefully that is just a little bug or something that I can fix myself. However, not too hard to do. And of course, we've got our social media there. Unfortunately, we can't capture the same look on the button there, but we have and do have the social media. What we do have, at least, is the map itself. So that's what's great about that. That's a working map as well. And yes, of course, all these other buttons will highlight and work. But other than that, that is the replica of the Damar site on Wix. You can see it is possible. So anything that you can try to recreate on WordPress, you can try to do on Wix, certainly. It does have the capabilities as well. It does have the animations. So I would highly recommend to hop on Wix to try it out yourselves. But guys, that pretty much reaches the end of the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, let us know in the comment section below. We'd like to know what you think. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.